We're getting a little snow, a little drifting. Wife just had her car parked here not too long ago. She went out that way. We have snow out of the south today. Usually it's out of the northwest. I'll have to move a little snow. But it looks like it's a good day to work in the shop for now. Better. Today in the shop, I'm gonna take a few pieces of flat, some channel iron, and I'm gonna turn it into this. And as what this is your last resort before you get a tow truck. This won't work on all trucks, but it will work on the one I drive. That's all that really matters. I'm not going to put these up for sale, I doubt. I'd have to figure out a way to really make it quicker to build them, but is what we have here is our channel iron, our flat, and a hitch pin. So this is in the collapsed state. You would store it in a state kind of like this. To put it on the truck, take your hitch pin off, slip this out, and you slide it through the hole. Just like that. And then you'd set this on your rim. Entire assembly has to be dual wheels because this isn't going to fit through the center super singles. And then you take your hitch pin, you stick it through the hole in your wheel, and then once it's on there, this is going to have some slop. But it isn't going to go anywhere, and this is going to dig you out of about anything. I've been stuck a few times at the truck where the tires are just warm enough, made a little ice cup, a bowl underneath the tires. Four-wheel drive tractor can't pull you off that if the whole yard is slick. Putting a couple of these on would have drove you out in less time than it took you to put these on. Once this is on the truck, this is just for getting yourself unstuck. You aren't going to be running down any roads with this on because it's going to probably shake violently. This is 1 3/8" tall web on here. Granted, some of that's going to dig down into whatever you're on and give you awesome traction, but when this is on the wheel, it's not going to be tight on there because you got to have room to get the hitch pin in here. Your rims kind of sit like this, so once you start moving, this is going to slide on the tire a little bit and pull the rim tight against the hitch pin. And that thing will not come out of there. It might slap around a little bit. That's where you need to make sure you got plenty of room around your tires. A lot of trucks have fenders. This will not clear. I have seen another product where it's similar to this, but it uses a ratchet strap. This is something I've been thinking about building for a while, and I'm finally getting around to it. So I'll show you how I did this. I'll warn you, I'm out of chop saw blades and pretty much out of grinding wheels, so it's not as good as it should be. If I was doing this in some sort of production I would be using a bandsaw to make all my cuts, and plasma cutter probably for the hole in the middle here. And a guy could make these with this piece just welded solid on here, but look at how much room this would take up in your truck versus this. Put a couple of these together, you know, in the corner of your sleeper, boot box, or whatever. You're hopefully not gonna need these, but when you're gonna wish you had them. I went and marked a couple spots on this flat iron. One is gonna be for a 3/4 inch hole for the hitch pin, and I don't plan on using it, but since I have it marked, I'm gonna drill this little hole, and that's for a roll spring pin in the hitch pin. Just the idea was to keep the pin in, but when everything locks up in the rim, it's not going anywhere, and you can't really turn the hitch pin to get it to lock anyways, because the handle on the hitch pin hits the rim. There's not enough room for everything, but I'm gonna drill it on them anyways, so it's there if I change my mind in the future. I made my drill press a little bit more quiet since the last time I had it on video. One, I put a bungee strap around the top, and two, I put a Delrin puck in between the motor because that thing would sit and vibrate. That Delrin puck is just something I had laying around. It happened to be about the right size, so I stuck it in there. Since I have a pattern for these two holes now, I'm just going to clamp the other ones under this one and drill those holes in the other two pieces quick. I got to drop the table just a little bit. I'll put the 3/4 inch hole in. Here on this channel iron, I made a pattern of where I want to put a couple holes in here and where I want to cut out. I'll clamp two together and I'll use this as a pattern, and I'll get these all drilled out, and then I'll step it up to a 1/2 inch bit. That's the same width as the flat iron that goes through there. That's all clamped up. Now with these still clamped up, I'll go throw the 1/2 inch bit in there and hog them both out. Now all I gotta do is cut that out and hog out the corners a little bit with the die grinder. I don't currently have a better setup for cleaning that up. I was gonna cut these out with a jigsaw, but it seems like all my jigsaws are missing the little wheel behind the blade, so it doesn't really work very good then. And this is fairly thick metal too. So I'll just blow that out with the torch and clean it up. I'll blow out what I can out of here with the torch. Kind of use these holes as a guide. And then I'll have to clean it up with the die grinder. It almost looks like a square. It almost fits in there. A plasma cutter, you could actually have a pattern and zip that out. There it is. It's not the prettiest, but it's actually not too bad either. It'll get the job done. Now with these flats here, I went around this end, and I don't have some fancy mill set up like this old Tony, so I'm just going to blow the end off with the torch and clean it up with the grinder. Hopefully I can do something with that. These flap wheels do a nice job of finishing that up. This is what they look like when they're new. It does not take very long though to get them looking like this. and then they don't sand quite as good. Not quite perfect, but they'll do. If I had a fancy little jig and a mill, spin around in there, but it'll work just fine. Now this has to get cut off. Now I'm going to go bevel this so I get a real good weld in there. I just realized that I have a couple new grinding wheels, so I can quit using these spent ones. Should be able to make a nice weld on that. Yeah, something like that, huh? It's close enough. We're not building a liquor store. I'll get that burned in there. There we got it. There you go, guys. Let's see how they work. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. God bless.